Everyone, I'm going to continue the series of the great Oriental Rabbanim, and actually we're going to concentrate today on a famous Kurdistani rabbi. I haven't spoken so many about the great rabbis from Kurdistan. However, there was a huge Vacham, along with many others that were from there, of the name Rabbi Alvan Shimon Avidani. He was actually born back in the year 1881 as part of the Ottoman Empire, in also part of Kurdistan. And he lived around 100 years. He passed away in July 1981. So he lived around 100 years. And naturally, the Hilula, the Yahrzeit, is on 29th of Tammuz, just before Rosh Chodesh Av over here. So much can be said about this great rabbi. He became a great rabbi at a later stage. He would actually move up to the Zichron Yaakov neighborhood in Yerushalayim later on when he would make Aliyah. But he did so much, was phenomenal in every single aspect. He arguably one of the great rabbis from the Kurdish community, and then later moved to Jerusalem. He translated works within regards to the Torah into Kurdish Aramaic. He was an author of many halacha books, which I will expound on later on. He wrote commentaries on the Zohar and on many other books and many other colossal works. He was actually born in the village of Omedi. This was in the Ottoman Empire, naturally. And his father was Rabbi Shimon ben Binyamin Avidani, and his mother was Geula, Rabbanit Geula Avidani. And obviously, naturally, his father was a rabbi. He was and they attribute themselves actually to the Shevet Benyamin, to actually, which you learn inside the Torah, Abidan ben Gidoni. They actually attribute themselves part of his lineage. He learned a Torah at a young age in his father's Midrash area, in the Bet Midrash, and he grew up. Shortly after that, he was ordained. He received smicha as a rabbi. Obviously, he was a mohel, he was a shochet, many different things, and very colossal amounts of Torah he knew. In fact, he was actually during the First World War, interesting enough, he was drafted into the Ottoman Empire army along with 90 other Jews over there. And he was arranged for a position. He was in the army for around 4 months, it was reported over, but he had got a position as a shochet, and he was responsible for the kashrut of those people that were, I believe, serving in the army, if I'm not mistaken. And this was naturally done in the area of Mosul over there. There was obviously shortage in the First World War, shortage of meat and everything else. So he only ate bread and water during a long period of time. He got sick also because of that period of time. There was a lot of things. And after leaving he had to travel around different cities in Kurdistan for a long period of time. He worked as a mohel while he was traveling around the different areas over there. He was he was a shochet and everything else, and obviously had a very remarkable reputation, but this was during the time of the First World War. His father passed away in the year 1917, and he returned to Amedia, and he was appointed over there by the Jewish community, and obviously from the government of that district, as a Chacham Bashi, and the head Dayan of the local court of this prestigious area over there. He obviously was a chazan, also their cantor. He was a great rabbi. He was giving a lot of drashot over there. He was also naturally a shochet, butcher, and a mohel also. And he was the head of the Talmud Torah Abidani over there. Naturally, as I said before, that was his father's Talmud Torah. And he was in contact with the great Rabbi Chacham Sasun Kaduri at that stage in time, who was, and the great court of Baghdad over there. Remember, Baghdad had a very flourishing Jewish community and Torah community at that point in time. There was also a lot of Aliyah movements at the time. This was before the formation of Medinat Israel, where they helped many families go and move to Israel. And naturally, obviously before the formation of the state, he actually had 15 children also. Very big family also. In fact, he had a very prestigious name and was in contact with many of the kings of Iraq and the prestigious people in Kurdistan. And when he was 39 years old, it was reported over that King Faisal, the first of Iraq, visited the area of Amidia, and Rabbi Abidani was included as a representative of the Jews to greet the king over there. And he actually asked the king that, because I think there was a lot of anti-Semitism also in those provinces, in those areas, that he hinted that there should be a greater acceptance of Jewish students with regards to the schoolings, the governmental schoolings, and everything else, to give the Jewish people a fair chance and everything else. So he very much helped in combating anti-Semitism. And in 1926, so he must have been around at this stage, around 45 years old, he influenced many Jewish families in their desire to make Aliyah to Eretz Israel, and assisted them in obtaining Iraqi visas from the district governor of Amidia, who was his friend. He had close connections with a lot of the prestigious people in all these different territories. And within actual 8 years to this, I believe in the year 1934, around 50 families made Aliyah to Israel. So we're talking about 14 years before the formation of the Medinat Yisrael, and was in contact with many prestigious people in correspondence. For example, Moshe Matityahu, and also he contacted Yitzchak Ben Tzvi, a very famous person who was the chairman of the National Committee over there also. And at the end of 1933 in Tevet, in the month of Tevet, he set out with his family from Amidia on a 3-month journey at the end, where he arrived in Haifa over there. It was, I believe, on the night of B'dikat Chametz over there, and he then later moved with his family to the old city of Yerushalayim, and he was appointed the leader, the communal leader for the Rabbanim over there, for all the immigrants that actually came from Amidia and moved actually there. And later on, he would, in the area of Amidia where he left, he was preceded, he was replaced by וחכם Yosef Yisachar over there. And it's interesting, he did actually meet later on Yitzchak Ben Tzvi and Zalman Shazar at the time when he actually arrived, and formed a very, very great relationship with them also. And he purchased land in the Zichron, in the neighborhood in Yerushalayim of, I believe the name, it was the area called Zichron Yosef neighborhood. This was in Yerushalayim Shel Zahav, probably Shchonot Zichron Yosef over there. And over there, he became the Rav of the neighborhood over there. He was, he moved all with much of the Kurdistani community moved over there. And they say actually that his home was located below the Prophet Yechezkel synagogue, which was of the community where the Amidia immigrants actually came from. He served as rabbi and the community leader over there. And he was a teacher. He was also shochet, a mohel. And he was a rabbi giving a lot of drashot. And he was also a dayan. So many judges. Imagine the power. Imagine the stature of this great Talmud Chacham, this great rabbi. And he even founded the Talmud Torah in that specific neighborhood for the children of his community over there. So it was multiple top jobs he had over there. And he was visited by the great famous people of Israel at the time. And it's actually interesting also, many accolades he received. They say actually in Chodesh Kislev, he received the Itur of the Yakir Yerushalayim from the president of Israel at that stage in time, which was obviously a great honor over there. And it's actually interesting, a lot of his family also had great positions in Israel. For example, his brother, Rabbi Betzalel Abidani, he had great positions internationally. He was a chief rabbi of an area in Turkey called Diyarbakir, and his other brother, Rabbi וחכם Binyamin Avidani, served as the chief rabbi of the Ziver region over there. And also his other rabbi, Yisrael Avidani, was a spiritual leader in the city of Shush. So many great positions a lot of the family had over there. As stated before, he has 15 children. He wrote a lot of colossal works, also different chibotim, different poetry, different books, songs. Also, for example, some of his works include Ma'aseh Agdolim, the Sefer Sugulot Rufuot, the Sefer Goralot. Also, he wrote a work on the Haggadah Shel Pesach. He did a Targum, a translation of the Tanakh in the Kurdistani language. He did the book called the Tafsirim Vishirim. It was with regards for the Kurdistani community over there. The Sefer Midrashim, which was a Kitab Yad. Also the Sefer Dinei Hashchita, which is also a Kitab Yad. And the Korban Alvan, which was Chamisha Krechim. Al-Zohar wrote a commentary on the Zohar. Also, it's his Hilula, 29th of Tammuz. Naturally today, learn a lot about him online. This is one of the great rabbis over the past hundreds of years. And one of the rabbis from the Kurdistani community. I very much recommend everyone to look upon him, look on his works and everything else. There's not much in English once again within regards to him. Rabbi Alvan Shimon Avidani, one of the great rabbis from Kurdistan. Guys, have a great day. I would like to actually dedicate this for the Arichat Yamim of Rachel Bat Esther also. Guys, have a great day, and please look over the previous shirim within regards to the great Sephardi Rabbanim, and take care.